Welcome to my channel. My name is Cheryl and I'm a spiritual life coach. I use tarot and oracle cards as tools in my coaching. They work so well as tools because the cards are not the true message. Your reaction to the cards is the message. Interpret your reaction to understand your message. These are general readings meant for everyone, so each reading may not resonate with you. You are responsible for how you interpret and use the messages. Hello and welcome to Luminescent Gypsy. My name is Cheryl and this is going to be the zodiac readings for the full moon in Scorpio in April of 2021. It is also called the pink moon and it is also a super moon. This moon has a bunch of transformative energy and power behind it. Scorpio is, of course, the sign of transformation and death. That often means more about rebirth than about actual death, so don't take it that way. It is all about transforming and letting go of what is no longer needed and moving forward and bringing into light the new things that are coming into your life. As a full moon obviously is the height or the harvest or the culmination of a previous moon cycle. Consider what's been happening in the last couple months and see what's really come up in the last 4 weeks in particular, and that will help you to determine what area you should be focusing on when it comes to transformation. I'm going to do each zodiac sign individually, and I'm going to pull 3 cards for each sign. You can look at them in any way you would like, past, present, and future, or what's leaving, what's coming, and what do you need to know. Or you could even do your moon, your sun, and your rising sign in each. It is up to you how you would like to perceive the reading and how you would like it to work in your life. I cannot tell you anything in particular about your life. This is a general reading, and that means that you need to take what works for you, take what matches with your story, and use it to your benefit, and leave the rest behind. If it doesn't resonate, it's just not meant for you. I'm going to shuffle the deck on all of it, and then I'm just going to pull from the top for each card, and at the end we will have an overall kind of energy for all signs also. Don't forget also, I would love it if you would hit the like button and subscribe for future readings. I will be doing the new moon readings and the full moon readings. We'll also have a weekly general reading, and I will have a monthly general reading by sign also. Make sure that you hit the bell so you get your notifications. All right, I'm going to shuffle each deck real quick. Pull from the top on that at each sign. These are for the full moon in Scorpio, April 2021. Thank you guys for giving us that information. All right, so Aries, let's see, we've got Treasure Island, Wishing Well, and these are not read upside down, Heart Home. Very interesting. This is yeah, Aries, you really do want to focus on what you are manifesting and what would you like to manifest. Be careful with what you're wishing for. Quite literally, be careful what you wish for. Make sure what you're putting out into the universe is what you truly want to come back to you. We can have really good ideas of what we would like, and the intention behind them is not always as pure or as clear as we would like. So be careful what you're telling the universe, because you could really confuse the universe quite a bit by not being very clear about your intent. and heart home. This is about compassion, and in particular, compassion for yourself. You really need to have compassion for yourself when you're going through the process of this. Again, this is a very transformative time, and you need to really maintain that compassion for yourself. But also, when we're struggling and we're going through a lot of things, it's really hard sometimes to maintain the compassion for others. It's easy to get short-tempered and forget that everybody is going through something right now, and a little bit of compassion can go a long, long ways. And that is, you know, just in general for yourself and for everyone around you. So, you know, that's really what it is for you, Aries. Make sure that your intent is clear so you don't confuse the universe. Your manifesting is likely to be very, very powerful at this time, since it is the Scorpio transformative moon. I would say to get really, really clear. Get really clear on what you want. Do some journaling, spend some time maybe doing a brain dump. Really get those things out so you get really super clear about what it is that you really, really want to bring in, so that the universe can deliver, because it will deliver what you're asking for. Even if it's a little confused, it'll send you what you think, what it thinks you want. So there is that for Aries. Taurus, let's move on to Taurus here and find out what Taurus has. New life, like that. It's in protection, which means that, of course, you know, with the transformation, there's always some trouble to be had, as far as getting through things. It's never as easy as we would like it to be. Ooh, I like that card. Like I said, it's a brand new deck, so I have hardly used it at all. I haven't even seen all of them yet. Clean house is clearing out the clutter. Again, there's a lot of that letting go of everything that you know, all your old mindset and everything that you just have been holding on to that no longer serves the new version of yourself. New life, of course, in reverse can also kind of lean towards that. You might be maybe procrastinating a little bit and not really ready or willing to step into the next part of your life. But if you do the house cleaning, if you do the cleanup, you definitely will have success in this transformation. Again, a lot of transformation going on here. Minor hiccup there. The cat is always an adventure living with cats. So, apologize for the little skip in the video, but we are still on Taurus. And I was pulling up the meaning for the Sky Dancers, surrender, which I absolutely love, from the book. It's liberation from attachment and surrender. When a Sky Dancer appears, she is inviting you to welcome the deepest power of the feminine into your life. You have already overanalyzed your situation to exhaustion. Now is the time to invite the sacred feminine, the wisdom within your heart, no matter your gender, to guide you to success. If you have become earthbound, plotting and planning and praying for change, cease and desist. Break the habit of being yourself, of repeating the same behavior and hoping for a different outcome. Stop trying to figure it all out and stop overthinking it. Surrender. The Sky Dancers are heralding the arrival of a new relationship with yourself, in your work or in your love life. Do not assume that this person or opportunity will rescue you. The only way to liberation is to kiss the ground goodbye and take flight, to rise above the fray and the drama of the struggling, arguing mind. Dance in the sky and view the madness below. By simply witnessing the actors and the human comedy unfolding on the ground, you are transforming it. As you observe the drama, You unleash the power of the sacred feminine that allows for resolution. The sky dancers know the map of heaven and the way to the holiest and most sacred spaces on earth. They come to help you with your current life and, even more important, to guide you to the realization of your own divinity. So that is a very, very, very cool card. I really like that deck. So yeah, Taurus, stop thinking. Just start doing. Yeah, start seeing. And I like this, interestingly, on the compassion card, because there's that idea of taking a moment and looking around you and seeing what else is happening in the world. Everybody does have a story, and sometimes we get so wrapped up in ourselves and our own thinking that we forget that. So surrender to the fact that it's okay not to have the answers and to move on. Let's look at Gemini now. Let's see what the full moon forecast has for Gemini. And we have flexible. And that generally in protection means that you could probably stand to be a little bit more flexible. Perhaps you are looking a little bit too rigidly at the life around you. Strength and Dust Devil. Again, this does not get read in reverse. Moving out of stagnation. I like that. Definitely each row is building on itself. And so, yeah, it feels like you've been possibly caught up in your own thinking a little bit there, and perhaps haven't been quite as open-minded as you could be. If you changed your perception, if you changed how you're perceiving a situation, you may find a lot of release in that. The transformation in changing your perception of something is phenomenal. Strength, of course, strength in all things. It means that you do have the strength that you maybe don't feel like you have right now, but you do. It's there. And Dust Devil is moving out of that stagnation. So all of this inflexibility, of course, is like being stuck. And if you do the work, go through the transformation, do, again, some journaling or brain dump, that kind of thing, you're really going to move out of that stagnant energy that you've had for a while. And let's see. So Dust Devil, embrace the chaos, trust in the process, moving out of stagnation. And this makes a lot of sense, especially when it's building on everything else. There's just kind of been a lot of chaos in the world, obviously in the last year, but even in the last month or so, there's been just a lot. Everybody that I've talked to has had some major chaos. So sometimes you just have to embrace the chaos and go with it. So the presence of the Dust Devil causes a ruckus. Some people are afraid his chaotic nature, believing that he comes to intentionally stir things up. The truth is, you can't expect this dream ally to behave, to bring niceness, to be clean. His power is in the mess he creates as he calls for you to engage in the full cyclone of life. He represents two aspects to you now. The wind in your outer life appearing to throw you off course, where you assume the world is coming at or happening to you, and the winds that churn inside you, with the Dust Devil arising from your dreamscape to help you escape your invisible chains shackling you to a barren desert. Stop asking for things to be perfect. Awkward, messy, conflicted, exuberant, and wild is how you shift. Trust this process. The Dust Devil knows what you need when you need it. Once things settle, you will see the gleaming jewels awaiting your discovery. The wisdom awaits integration. Very interesting for Gemini that it mentioned the two aspects of you. So definitely really like that card too. That is very, very cool. So that was Gemini. Let's move on to the next sign. So let's see what the full moon has for Cancer. Loyal Heart. I like that card a lot. Sacred Pool. I have to look that one up, I think. There's a lot about a reflection and looking at your true self in that. So with Cancer, of course, not surprising with the water. And the crossing, initiation. Also interesting given the Scorpio full moon. So Loyal Heart is about oftentimes in upright, it's feeling that confidence and that connection to spirit that we have, and when we trust that, there definitely is that loyal heart there. But the essential meanings for this is fidelity, loyalty, and devotion, and that is really about how others really do show up and prove to you their loyalty in ways that you kind of can be surprised by. And like I had said, knowing that spirit is always loyal to you, no matter the outer circumstances in your life, trust and have faith, for you are eternally loved, always divinely protected, and divinely directed. So definitely the overall feeling of spirit being in total connection with you and totally loyal to you. Your spirit guides, that's what they're there for. They're there to help you and guide you. And when you trust the process, that is when they can really help you. And they won't intervene unless you're in danger. So trust that they're loyal to you and that they will help you. Stop and ask them for the help. And Sacred Pool, the quote here: the world is a reflection of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Embody the love you wish to see in the world. So in protection, that, where are you? It can be difficult to overcome denial when there is a reward for staying where you are. If you can't accept and love yourself, you remain trapped, wearing a false mask of victimhood. The benefit of embracing denial and the victim's mask is that you never have to take a real risk. So, yeah, that absolutely, if you're not willing to face yourself, it's going to be really, really hard to find that authenticity. And in this Scorpio full moon, that's really about that deep, deep transformation that only happens when you're willing to look in the mirror and face your true self with no mask. And that is going to obviously lead right to the crossing or the initiation into that complete freedom that comes with knowing yourself. All right, the crossing, rite of passage or initiation. You have come to stand on one side of a river. The opposite bank leads into the darkness of the eternal cave, where the old dies and the new born. This is a place where time is forgotten and the seasons cease their dance and stand still, as if in a temporary repose. You must cross the river now, honoring and respecting this transition, for it's time to say goodbye to your old ways of navigating your world. Don't be afraid. You've come to the edge of the river because you're ready. You're ready to let go of what doesn't serve you and all the ways in which you've kept yourself from truly living. Intimacy requires vulnerability and truth. Can you strip away the masks and the barriers of false strength to discover what you're really made of? Step into the boat waiting for you. Let it carry you into the cave where the shadows are waiting to be illuminated, so you can be born again into the world without denial or artifice. Making the crossing is a beautiful, powerful act of the highest love. So that is a very powerful message for you, Cancer, that it's time to let go. If you don't do this, well, these two are really, really very strong, similar message. So trust the spirit guides. They're there to help you. Ask, and trust. What do we have for Leo? All right, Leo, full moon in Scorpio. Chance in the wind. Oops, I keep forgetting to put those on there. All right, talisman. This feels like a very, very strong message too. Cosmic womb, the divine feminine. Yeah, that one is just, it's just that change in the wind is that, again, it's just that fear, and that's what's kind of sticking for me, is being afraid. Yeah, it's a good thing, so there's nothing to fear. Perhaps on an opportunity you thought went to someone else, or you were pursuing something and you realized that you just weren't clear about it, and the circumstances are out of your control. And so now there's just a shift, and this is a lot about getting out of the fear of moving forward and being in that that unsureness. That's the energy I think I'm feeling, that unsureness there, because everything changed when you didn't expect it to change. So Leo, talismans, that one's a good one also. Similar, in this card reminds me a lot of the Magician from the Tarot. We all have the power within us. Everything that we need is always at our fingertips. Don't be afraid to use that to your advantage. All right, talismans. A lesson truly learned is crystallized as earned wisdom. You have all you need for the success you seek. Exactly what I was just saying is, wisdom allows you to recognize traps on the road and familiar patterns that you want to avoid. It also enables you to quickly gather information about where you are on your journey. It helps you to recognize your allies and know how to find the best route along the way. Now you're at a place where you know the right things to do and the best choices to make. You really can't commit a mistake. Whatever your inquiry, great fortune awaits you, for you have the wisdom to arrive at the right decision. You've learned your lessons and earned the right to success. Cosmic womb, the divine feminine, is creativity, the divine feminine. The cosmic wound is a reminder that you're undergoing a beautiful process of birthing a new self into being, again with the transformation. You don't know who or what it is yet, but you know it's full of life and love and passion and spirit. It's the perfect expression of you, imbued with the love incarnate and ignited by the vital spark received from the divine. If you've had a difficult time in recent memory, feeling dry and stagnant or lost and unsupported, this is the changing right now. You will feel newly inspired as so many ideas beckon for your attention. Know that you're safe to explore the expression of your rejuvenated creativity, releasing all judgment as your curiosity is piqued. You're in the most fertile cycle of your life right now, intuitively keen, with heart wide open, mindful that each step in the direction of your dreams and your desires is effortlessly supported by all the divine helpers in the unseen realm. So, yep. More transformation. More and more and more transformation. So, Leo, yeah. Really look at that change in the wind. Something that felt very towers now that I'm looking back on it, because it threw me completely off too. So there was a really, really strong energy of really something having come out of the blue at you and just completely caught you off guard. So know that you have everything. You just have to find your footing and just restabilize yourself a little bit. And again, appreciate that chaos. And it's interesting because it comes on the where was that other one? The Dust Devil. back there. So I feel like that dust devil energy kind of fell through into Leo's a little bit. That really caused some chaos there. So that is for Leo. See what the full moon has for Virgo. All that glitters is not always gold. All right, magic prayer. A lot of that center row about trusting spirit. Lost in space, needing direction. So Virgo, I'm feeling maybe a little like you've lost your way there. Yeah, all that glitters. Be cautious about what your if it looks too good to be true, it is. And so you want to really be aware. And with this on the end, needing direction, I'm feeling like maybe you're kind of being susceptible to something that just seems like it's just too good to be true, but you're maybe feeling a little lost. So you're believing in it. Be very cautious about that. And have a friend double check things. Back to the beginning of this reading, they're just cleaning up and making sure that you're kind of covering your butt and making sure that everything is in order. And red flags are not just pretty decorations. Pretty much is where that is. Be very cautious. Magic prayer is speak your prayers, listen for the answers, and act in faith. So again, listen to those red flags, watch what you're really wishing for, but also, just keep an open mind that there are other options. And you could, it's in here, could the path you're on be leading you to a place of regret? Or could you be pursuing something that just isn't good for you? That's the magic prayer in reverse. So, which this is upright, but it has that kind of that message of being aware. Yeah, that one is definitely, no matter what direction that card is, be cautious. Be very cautious. Let's see. What does the Lost in Space have for us? Feeling lost, needing direction and focus, and a 24-hour day. Sometimes in life, we lose our way, perhaps falling prey to addictive behaviors, jealousy, comparison, resistance, or fear. This happens especially when we are up-leveling and genuinely changing for the better, again with the transitions. A part of us, hidden in the vast expansiveness of space, wants to sabotage our progress. In the transformation process, our inner world no longer feels safe or inhabitable, as we find that our thoughts and our beliefs have morphed beyond recognition. You may find yourself adrift in this way right now, unable to focus or determine the next step. You might be tired and simply need to regroup and rest. When you lack direction, the first thing to do is redirect your perspective of time. Like a newborn baby who needs swaddling to feel safe, you're invited to reduce your life visioning to the next 24 hours. Anyone can handle living in a 24-hour compartments, which allows everything to feel grounded and manageable. You get lost in space when you imagine being swallowed up in the giant vastness of the future with its dark uncertainty, or reflect on how your past has held you captive in a hall of distorted, never-ending mirrors, reminding you of your mistakes and flaws, failures and losses. Take heart that the simple 24-hour container immediately banishes those two awful eternities away. You will find your energy and focus restored as you recognize that you were never lost at all. Keep it simple. Right now, conserve your energy and take care of you in the basic, fundamental ways, and the world will be right again. Yes, that's very interesting in combination with the other two. So Virgo, be cautious and just be Yeah, don't look so far into the future like that says. You're overwhelming yourself, and I think that's causing you to look for an easy way out. And this easy way out over here is not going to get you on your way. And this card, definitely the energy in this one is saying you may not be on the right path. If you're looking to find the answers from this in here, do it the other way. 24 hours, it's going to erase these two a little bit and give you a lot more clarity. Let's see. Let's see if, let's see. Yeah, again, trusting the universe in this row. That's a lot of trusting the universe. Then we have Libra. All right, what does the Scorpio full moon have for Libra? All right, a message in a bottle. Spirit might have a message for you. Making a choice and a wailing tree. Reconciliations. That's interesting. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, making a choice right in the middle, of course, for Libra. This is totally not a surprise with the balancing. I feel like you kind of are having to choose between your past self and your future self, maybe. Let's see what message in a bottle says in the book, because let's see. Essential meanings on this one is communication is sign, obviously, pointing the way to your highest good. So listening to spirit and spirit having a message for you. And then making a choice, obviously, you're facing two or more options, and those are in this full moon with the transformation. It's really about which version of yourself I think that you would like to become. Yeah, and it is just requiring to make a decision now. You're faced with a dilemma or a fork in the road, and must make a conscious choice regarding the next action. With the wailing tree and the reconciliations, I feel like, and with this transformation energy, I feel like there's a lot of that. And in this whole thing, even back to the beginning of this reading with Aries, there's a lot of getting back to your true self, and being willing to make those decisions that require you to let go of people, places, things that no longer serve your highest good. And so that is again with this message in a bottle too. But don't, it feels on top of this, that idea that don't take the easy way out, I guess maybe is where some of that is. The easy way is probably not the right way. And with the message in the bottle. So the wailing tree is grief and mourning, a time of necessary losses and reconciliations. When you encounter the wailing tree on your path, it's an invitation to stay a while and regroup, a place for you to rest and allow yourself to say goodbye to what no longer serves. You may have been overdoing things, working too hard, or putting too much effort into life with little reward. If you've been considering making a change, now is the time to do so. One important thing to consider before you make any changes is that you need to allow yourself to feel your disappointments, your losses, and mourn what was and what could not be. This is a way to honor your experience, to give yourself time to consider all the gifts in it, to put proper closure on it, to really know what you've learned as you walk away from it and into something new. Even in the perception of failure, there is much good to be discovered. However, skipping the stages of loss doesn't get you to reconciliation any faster. In fact, you will discover that you will have to come back at some point. So do it all now, look at it all squarely and honestly, and stay with your feelings. Life is not either or, it's both and, this and that. So, as you dive in and process this, allow it to become a temporary travel companion on your journey. The feelings that this will bring to the surface will be challenging for sure. Yet, like all things, they will pass soon enough and you will be more enriched by the experience. Yep, definitely for Libra, it's that idea of making the choice to let go of those things and making the choice to face those things that often we like to hide. And that's the Scorpio moon for you, pulling up all of the stuff that we really just don't want to face. And that's what this is about, is making that happen. So take the time to do that, because it will pay off for you and you will be rewarded. Spirit is trying to guide you on that path, and likely you're getting a message about this. You already understand this message. You just think you don't like it. Unfortunately, we don't always like the truth. And what's for our highest good is oftentimes more challenging to get to. Now, Scorpio, for your Scorpio moon. This should be interesting, huh? All right, what does the full moon in Scorpio have for Scorpio? Ooh, soulmates in reverse. Soulmates oftentimes can, a little bit like the Lover's card, indicate a choice too. It's two versions of a thing. Details in reverse. Again, this comes up with that whole, this is especially for Scorpio, this is the hidden stuff. There's stuff that's hidden, and if you're not willing to dig it up, and you're not willing to look at the details, you're gonna miss something. There's something in the details. The devil's in the details, as they say, right? All right, and beloved, radical acceptance. So interesting. Yeah, all of these are very still holding that same pattern of going back to that compassion for self, digging deep, looking at the details of ourselves, and what we find in the mirror we don't always like, but we need to accept. So that soulmates might be very much about self-love and being your own soulmate. There's also this concept of being able to change. This doesn't fit it too much, but being able to choose to rewrite your own personal soul contracts. So that could have a little bit to do with it, but mostly this feels very much like a dig deep Scorpio, because your ability to massively transform yourself is now, and that radical acceptance card, just dig the crap out. And for soulmates, the essential meanings are harmonious partnerships, love, friendship, companionship, a relationship fostering personal growth, which if you are in your relationship with yourself and fostering your own growth, that makes a lot of sense. In the protection, I'm going to read this one out of the book. An important relationship brings you to your knees. This is the kind of soulmate who comes with a powerful gift. Your patterns and all of your stories that don't serve your well-being enter into this dynamic so you can heal them. This person is called to a sacred task to help you learn, even if it seems uncomfortable, sticky, or even inconceivable. The question is not why did he or she do this to me, but rather what is the gift in this? Look into this mirror. You will only be changed for the better. That goes into these details. Yeah, Scorpio, there's a lot of self-love here, a lot of understanding, some soul contracts. That doesn't surprise me now that I thought that, because it seems like that has something to do with it. People do come into our lives to teach us what it is we're supposed to understand and learn in this lifetime, and that's really what that soulmate card talks about. The details, the quote in the book is, the most powerful patterns are created within the tiniest details. Pay attention. In the transformation and in the digging, definitely is the details about yourself, but also perfectionism is not going to get you anywhere. So that's the other part of this card, is that don't be obsessed with perfectionism in the process. And I think that Scorpio, I can see how you could get kind of trapped in that. I think Scorpio might have a little bit of a, oh, we're supposed to be good at this. How am I doing this wrong? Why doesn't it look like everybody else's? I'm a Scorpio, I should understand this. And that's perfectionism isn't going to get you anywhere, and there is no such thing as perfect. And everybody's transformation, everybody's journey looks different, and so you're doing it just right. So don't overthink that part. So let's see what this card is. Beloved, radical acceptance. So the object of affection, radical acceptance, loving what is. Yeah, this is a lot of self-love. When the beloved appears, it requires 100% of your heart, body, and soul. Don't try to squeeze the beloved into your schedule. Drop the busyness and receive the one you have been waiting for. Know that this card comes as a mirror to show you the divine within and invite your radical acceptance of everything you consider beautiful or ugly in your being. The beloved may not be a person at all. It might be a business venture, a project, or an adventure calling for your full attention. Let it, or love it, let it light you up, and give it all of your attention. Surrender to this truth and know that you are gaining a passport to bliss, even when it feels that you are being consumed by the fire of the beloved. Do not hold back or be afraid, for you will emerge transformed. Surrender is the key. Allow yourself to be loved. Usher the harsh critic out the door and shut your eyes and ears to the judgment of others who have not been ignited by the divine blaze consuming you, for they will only attempt to douse your fire and leave you choking in the smoke. Be careful you are not seduced by false promises or falling prey to your extraordinary ability to sabotage your dreams and desires. Sink with and sink into your heart and trust your sense of what is true, and you will know what to do. The true beloved is never false. Never false. Every gift proffered is valuable. Recognize the many faces of the beloved and welcome them into your heart. You will be so glad you did. I love this deck. It's so cool. But yeah, this is self-love, accepting that, and just being on fire with what you're here to do. And if it seems even a little bit interesting to you, you should do it. Follow your heart. Let's see what the Scorpio full moon has for Sagittarius. Blessed. Oh, I've been seeing that everywhere. Let's see. Home. Interesting. I'm Sagittarius, so I've been following quite a few. Limitless possibilities. Yeah, that supports pretty much everything that I've been hearing lately too for Sagittarius. Sagittarius is blessed right off the bat with a little extra luck, it seems like. Sagittarius is the lucky one. And I think that has been a lot of my life as Sagittarius. And also, we're just blessed in general, all of us, no matter if you're Sagittarius or not. Home, that's an interesting one for me, because we are getting ready to upend home and change to a whole new way of living as full-time RVers. And so that's interesting. But the card itself, being you are comfortable in your own skin and you belong. There's been a lot of mention in just the last 2 or 3 days, for myself in particular, you're not alone, you're not alone, you're not alone. And I think that that card really has a lot to do with being at home wherever you are, because you're at home in your own skin. And you as long as you are at home in your own skin and know who you are, you're always going to be at home no matter where you're at. Stars in the sky, limitless possibilities. I really like that card's really cool. Let's see what the book has to say on this one. Stars in the sky, limitless possibilities, embracing opportunity. When you look up into the velvety dark blanket of the night sky covering the vast expanse of space, can you count all the stars twinkling above? Can you imagine what you are only glimpsing a teeny sliver of what is actually there? This is the domain of limitless possibility, of the never-ending sea of potential that you yourself are made of and have now at your disposal. Your life right now is alive with possibility and needs your clear focus to home in on what avenue of exploration most calls to you. It's time to choose and not be distracted by the sheer magnitude of what may be. Be here now. Gather your thoughts and your most cherished dreams. Focus on the brightest star in your never-ending sky and take small steps, small movements towards calling this glittering potential into reality. If you can imagine this and hold that vision, you will summon all of the celestial helpers and guides to aid you in bringing it into fruition. Keep your focus on the essence of potential rather than the form of it. The universe has its own idea of how best to serve you and all of us at the same time. Trust this is the fact rather than the theory, and you ought not act surprised when your dreams come true, for they surely will, exactly how you need them to. Well, Sagittarius, that's an awesome one for us, isn't it? I love the happy endings as far as it goes. Yeah, there's just so much potential right now for transformation. And this really, really is saying that. But stay in gratitude, trust yourself, and all the stars are yours. What does the full moon in Scorpio have for Capricorn? Let's see. Not for you. That doesn't necessarily mean that you don't get what you want. It just means that you may have to change some things. Unexpected visitors. Me talks. Repairing the body, mind, spirit. That's a really cool card. I've seen that one. So, not for you. It really is just that, sometimes things are just not meant for us. Divine guidance sometimes puts things in our way that move us in another direction. So, rejection is God's protection, basically. So sometimes when we don't exactly get what we want, we're not happy about it. But later on, we realize that it was the best thing possible. And that may very well be exactly what's happening here. I find it interesting with this unexpected visitors because you may just get a visitor or something may happen that slows things down just enough to put you on a slightly different timeline than you had expected before. So that feels like the combination of those two things is don't get frustrated when something unexpected happens, because it's just going to move you in the right direction. This has a very, very strong feeling of divine timing. And there's some lessons in this, obviously, with the transformation energy of this full moon. Understanding that things, and this comes from another card earlier in this reading too, sometimes it feels like the world is out to get you, but really life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. And so when you can learn that lesson in this transformational period, that's going to help you. And that also reminds me of the flexibility card a little bit. Be flexible and know that whatever delay is coming up for you is on purpose, because it's guiding you to where you're supposed to be at the right time. You're supposed to be there. And with this card in play, I'm guessing that some unexpected event is possibly health related. No, not even health related, but something's going to force you to slow down a little bit. So if you've been going and going and going, you may just have overdone it. And when you don't want to slow down yourself, the universe has a lovely way of forcing you to slow down, and that almost feels a little bit like that. So know that it's meant to be, and it's what is necessary. So the me talks, eliminating toxic thinking, repairing the body, mind, and spirit, and cleaning house. When the me talks card appears, it challenges you to discard the deep, dearly held judgments that you have passed over yourself and others. Release the people you feel wronged or offended you. Recognize that they are mirrors. Okay. Recognize that they mirror the shadow aspects of your own soul. Yes, it's a tough pill to swallow. Only then can you cull from your life the toxic people you have allowed into your inner circle. It's time for a cleaning of your proverbial house. Get rid of the thoughts and personal judgments poisoning your mind. Eliminate the inauthentic beliefs of others you've adopted as your own. Do so before your mind makes you sick. Empty your literal cupboards of the unhealthy junk food poisoning your body. Fast for one day or skip a meal to allow your body to cleanse itself and rid itself of toxins. Detox appears as a warning that you can no longer postpone the self-care and pampering you long for. The time is now. Do healthy maintenance on your body before you have to make repairs that you will never quite recover from. Detox has come to caution you that it is not too late, but you are at the 11th hour. Do not deprive yourself of the health you deserve. That does definitely sound like if you feel like it's going to slow you down by taking the time to take care of yourself, the fact is, if you don't, it's going to slow you down even more. So if you don't want that unexpected visitor in the form of some illness that is going to take a lot longer to heal, then take the time. Take the time now, Capricorn. The universe is very specific about this one. It's time to sit your ass down and stop screwing around. That's the direct message on that one. So, Aquarius. Let's see, Aquarius. What do we have for this Scorpio full moon? Unfinished Symphony. And a bone collector. Interesting. And dances on one foot, balancing act. All right. So Unfinished Symphony is just kind of about where we fit in the world and knowing that we are a part of the collective and that we do matter. Everybody matters. Everybody has a part in the collective, that we all come together to make one big collective, one symphony. Every instrument in the symphony counts. Unfinished Symphony is, for obvious reasons, unfinished business, incomplete lessons, lack of closure, and the need to make amends. So there's a lot of that. Again, letting go of the past, letting go of things that no longer serve our highest good, and knowing that nothing is wasted. If you feel like there's been things that have been wasted time, they haven't. Everything adds up. Everything is a part. You haven't wasted any time. But if there are some things that are just waiting to be cleaned up, do that. Again, there's a lot of cleanup energy in this whole reading also. And just know that it's all part of the plan. And Bone Collector, exactly the same energy. You are whole and have everything you need within, and that is again duplicated back. In reverse, it's about not having kind of learned some of your earlier lessons, and you might be pulled back to a situation that you probably don't want to repeat, but the information you seek lies in your history. Familiarity in this case isn't an invitation to dance the old dance again. Instead, it is a call to retreat and choose differently. The Bone Collector has a message. If you do what you did, you will get what you got. Her warning is delivered with kindness, for she has deep love and respect for you. She will protect you. Let go of those old habits. Again, feeling like things are wasted. They're never wasted, but going back in your history to find whatever it is that is being repeated, is coming up again. There's something that's coming up again that you really wish had not. If you don't want it to come up again, you have to face it a different way. And dances on one foot, balancing act, resourcefulness, saying yes to life. When dances on one foot shows up, you are called to find a new balance. Just as a dancer moves gracefully into each pose, no matter how precariously balanced a step might seem, you must bring equanimity to the situation before you, no matter how thorny or difficult the relationship seems. If you are putting too much effort into managing your life, work, relationship, family, and digital media, you are missing the point. You have to be dancing while juggling your entire life, knowing that at one time, half of it is going to be up in the air. It's not that you are doing too much and find it impossible to catch up. Rather, it's that you are confusing readiness with preparation. You will never ever be fully prepared for all of the challenges in life, but you can be ready to say yes to new invitation the universe offers you. Live in a state of yes to spirit and no to everything not infused with life, romance, vitality, and the sacred. You will be surprised by how quickly your load lightens when you hold true to this lesson. You are challenged now to work with the resources available to you and not to be seduced by the belief of if only had more. Life has provided you with everything you need to accomplish your goals and fulfill your mission. When it feels like you are losing your balance, do not contract, holding your arms close to your chest, for you will fall. Instead, reach out and extend them fully, saying yes to Spirit's steadying hand. Yep, going back. Nothing's wasted. It's all part of the experience. And you have everything that you need inside you. But you have to go back and revisit something. And that's going to be different for everybody. What does Pisces have in this Scorpio full moon? Co-create. Are you cutting yourself off a little bit from spirit? And spirit of place. And perfect storm. That's a really cool card. It's come up a couple times recently. The courage to step into life. So, co-create is all about co-creating your life with spirit. It's about manifestation and building the life that you want. And we're never alone in that. There's always help, no matter what we think. If we think we're building it alone, we truly are not, because there's always somebody there that's offering a helping hand, even if we don't see it. And spirit, of course, is always there. And sometimes we kind of forget to look at that. And so perhaps you are not realizing that you are trying to do it all on your own, and that without help, you will not create what you are trying to build. So if you are finding yourself stuck, now is a good time to realize that you should ask for help, and you do deserve help, and spirit is always there waiting to help you. All you have to do is ask. So perhaps going back in one of the earlier cards, maybe you're being a little too stubborn and not asking for the help that you need from spirit. They will answer very quickly if you ask. And spirit of place. Authenticity is the essence of power. That goes all the way back to the beginning. Again, living authentically, facing your truths, the darkness that is in all of us. Scorpio is going to pull that out, make you look at it. Is going to rip the masks off, and just being brutally honest with yourself is going to allow you to heal all of that. So when the spirit of place arrives in your reading, it says that the answer to your query is in the overarching theme of your circumstances. Is your question about a struggle? The answer is to relax and let go of your need to control the situation. If your inquiry relates to finding love, then embody love rather than longing for it. Once you find the essential truth, that underlies your question and then name it, you'll discover the answer you've been seeking. Your greatest power is your authenticity. Very, very true for all of us, not just Pisces. Great message. And the perfect storm is just, I am in love with this card. An invitation to act now, the courage to step into life, sheltering from turbulence. When the perfect storm appears, it cautions you to be ready for an exciting, if turbulent, time. The winds are picking up, and you need to make sure that you are close to the eye of the storm, or you will be buffeted by gusts that may take you far from where you need to be. The key is to remain centered and balanced and bear witness as the forces build in intensity. Notice how the loose stuff is starting to fly around and recognize how little of it you truly need. Let go of those thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes that clutter your heart and cloud your mind. Then the storm will absolutely perfect for you. If you wonder what you might lose during the perfect storm, know that it is those things that are most attached, that you are most attached to, that are taken first, as if life were trying to unburden us from our righteous self-importance. Let it all go with the wind. The less you resist the change brought by the perfect storm, the happier you will be. Ride the winds of your next destination. Embrace the rain or snow. Remember that every time you try to argue with nature, you lose. The perfect storm can also be called for you to seize the moment. There might be a great opportunity that you need to take advantage of right now. Carpe diem. Here, time is of the essence. It may be gone shortly, so do not hesitate. Go ahead, bite off more than you can chew, and take the storm on in all its terrifying greatness, experiencing the fullness of life. You will succeed. Well, that is an excellent card to end this reading on, as the entire reading plus Pisces. Yeah, this is all about just getting into that authenticity. That's what all of this is about, is that authentic self. Self-love, healing, transforming, and letting go of what is no longer serving you. So that is all of the readings for this full moon in Scorpio for April of 2021. I will have a new moon reading up for the new moon in May. You can expect weekly readings. And also on Facebook, I have daily messages, one card messages that go up. So I have a lot of things going on, and there will also be a general reading for the month of May coming up soon too. Again, I would greatly appreciate it if you would, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell so that we can see all the notifications for future readings. And if you have any questions or want to discuss anything, please do feel free to reach out, talk to me in the comments. I look forward to meeting all of you, talking to all of you, and helping you on your journey. That's my purpose here, is to help those that are unsure of their journey to find their path and to move forward and to obviously step into their own authenticity. Thank you very much for sticking around for this full moon reading. Good luck, and let's see what we all transform into. The whole world is transforming right now, and this full moon is going to be a powerful one. Get ready, because there's also the eclipses coming in the summer. We're only 2 months away from that. And the new moon in May will be a great time to really push forward with anything that comes up in the creativity realm, and is kind of born or reborn during this particular phase.